Marketing is a fiercely competitive field. They're so competitive that they can even be a separate thing from the product competitive field. So corporations aren't just competing on who get to provide the best product, but also who gets to have the best marketing space. All of those games being shown on the PlayStation State of Play or Nintendo Direct or Summer Game Fest or Xbox Game Fest Showcase, whatever, those games aren't put in a spotlight for cheap. But I can tell you this, being on a spotlight on all those events is certainly a better marketing space than being put in the realms of YouTube advertisements, where most people who watch YouTube are yearning and wanting to click on that pesky skip ad button so that they can get over whatever they're dealing with at that point in time. Or worse of all, being kicked into the shadow realm thanks to those pesky ad blockers. As a content creator who makes money through ad revenue, even I use ad blockers, and I highly recommend people to do so. I used to teach computers to middle schoolers, and I always want to make sure that they use browsers that have ad blockers like Brave, or have their browsers equipped with ad blockers like uBlock Origin. There's one instance where I tell my students how to download YouTube videos, and the downloader website shows shaft enlargement ads, if you know what I mean. Some browsers like Opera and Brave have their own built-in ad blockers, which are especially handy on their mobile versions. Some browsers like Chrome or Edge or any Chromium-based browsers also allow you to install browser extensions like uBlock Origin, which is the one go-to ad blockers that I highly recommend. Look it up. It's open source, which means the codes are open for everyone to see, which means you yourself can check inside the codes of these to find out that these apps don't track you and send your data to some malicious third party. Besides, advertisements these days are getting less and less effective to entice customers to buy products. The cost to pay for digital ad spaces are increasing, but their effectiveness is decreasing. Advertising is just one way for a company to market their product. There are many other better ways for companies to market their product other than just advertising. Search engine optimization, content recycling, meta tags and descriptions, all of that stuff. And to make this marketing speech much easier for you gamers to understand, let's talk about video game marketing. Seriously, have you ever considered playing a video game because a YouTube ad shows the game? This person clearly didn't for this specific ad. Most that YouTube ads can do is to remind you that the game exists. A lot of times they also remind you that the game is out and you can play them right now, even if the game looks like it's sucking from several different directions. But these ads can only serve as a reminder that these games exist, not that you should buy the game or even try it out, just that these games exist. Nowadays, if you really want to know if a game is good or not, you as a responsible customer will check for videos about the products themselves. You will check on gameplay footages, reviews, recommendations from people who have played the game. All of that stuff you people that know how to use a search engine will do. And I say responsible customer because unfortunately most customers are irresponsible and they chose to buy the latest games without checking on reviews or gameplay footages or even trying to game out themselves. There's a reason why my brother played 47 hours of Street Fighter 6 demo before he chose to actually buy the game himself. There's a reason why I watched the 20-hour compilation cutscenes of Final Fantasy 16 then playing the actual game, because the game requires me to buy a PlayStation 5 plus the actual freaking game. Square Enix chose to make it a timed PlayStation exclusive because PlayStation pays them a lot of money, so screw both of them. That said, the DualSense controller is really good. I love using PlayStation controllers that have motion sensors to play Nintendo games that use motion sensors in a platform that is neither PlayStation nor Nintendo. Works very well. I might make a video on that, in case you're curious. Point is, ads are not that good at informing us anything. We as regular viewers of YouTube just don't want to watch that stuff. We just want to watch the content. That said, I understand why they exist, and their existence is about essential as their non-existence. That sounds awfully confusing, I know. What I'm saying is, ads are important, but ad blockers are also important. You get what I mean? We YouTubers provide the content, YouTube provide the ads, YouTube gets paid to show the ads, we also get some share of that payment. I get it. It's helpful for a lot of content creators, and it's certainly helpful for me. And it's not just limited to YouTube. Lots of websites and games rely on ads to survive. I don't mind turning the ad blockers off for some of the websites that I visit if they chose to remind me to do so, so I get it. I get why they're essential, even if companies that buy these ad spaces are most likely not gonna see an increase in customers through those ads. But at the same time, I also get why ad blockers are essential too. A lot of these ads are incredibly predatory and deceptive. Marketing is all about trickery and deception. The absolute best best advertisements out there are the ones that trick and deceive you into thinking that their product is the best of all. That's just an essential part of marketing. That's why in the video game industry, for example, we have so many cases of companies falsely advertising their games, and these companies a lot of times just get away with it. To put it simply, on one hand, advertisements are essential to keep a lot of people living in the digital world alive. But on the other hand, advertisements are getting less and less effective for companies to entice customers to buy their products. At most, they merely serve to remind the customers that the product exists. And a lot of times, they don't really do a good job to convince the customers to buy the product. And most importantly to you as customers, most of these ads are incredibly deceptive by design. So we are pretty much living at a strange conundrum with these ads. And this is why I don't recommend content creators to use ad revenue as their primary source of income. Linus Tech Tips last year posted a breakdown of his channel revenue. Yes, the YouTube AdSense is quite significant there, but it's not his only primary source of income, and it doesn't make up a majority of them. As someone running a business, that business being a YouTube channel, you have to find other sources of revenue. That's why I got a job in real life. That's why I have many other means where you can support this channel linked down below. That's why I have my APB show channel linked down below. Go subscribe. It is essential to not put your eggs in one basket. And thank you, YouTube, for reminding us that ads are the reason why YouTube is free. Thank you, YouTube, for forcing people to watch your deceptive ads. How dare we as customers protect ourselves from annoying and deceptive advertisements? It's not just deceptive. Some of these ads even straight up steal your data and personal information if you are not careful, especially if you are browsing in even dodgier websites than YouTube. Be careful, sailors of the 7 seas. Seriously. Ad blockers really help to protect you from all sorts of dangers on the internet, especially from the many fake download buttons out there that misled you into thinking that it is the file that you're downloading, but it isn't. At this point, there are loads and loads of dodgy websites out there that serves you even dodgier ads. Ad blockers are an amazing way to protect yourself from it, and that's why it's essential in any internet browsing. I certainly don't want minors to be exposed with rocket boosting ads, if you catch my drift. And yes, you can go ad-free using YouTube Premium, and creators can still get paid from your YouTube Premium subscription. Heck, a lot of content creators even got paid better with YouTube Premium subscription. And that's precisely why YouTube Premium is the only subscription that I have in my monthly bill. I don't subscribe to Netflix or Disney Plus or Amazon Prime or any of those streaming websites, especially when I can sail the seas for them. I only subscribe to YouTube Premium. Not only did I get the ad-free experience, but I also got YouTube Music, which I use all the time. And I also support all sorts of content creators, even the ones that are demonetized. Oh, and it also bypasses the ads on YouTube Mobile and gives you background playback. In my opinion, super useful features, especially when I'm traveling and I'm listening to videos or podcasts. There are definitely ways to bypass this without the needs of paying the YouTube Premium. There used to be an app called YouTube Vance, but it stopped development. There's a newer version called YouTube Revance, which you can go and check it out. But from what I can tell, it's for Android users, so those of you iPhone users probably gonna have to find other alternative means or just eat the premium. That's one of the risks of you going Apple. As for the desktop users, ad blockers like uBlock Origin or the ones that are built in browsers like Brave, they still work just fine. Sometimes Chrome or YouTube will still hassle you, but there are ways to bypass the whole thing. This guide might be outdated, so you'll have to look out the ways to bypass these yourself. Point is, no matter what YouTube does in terms of serving you ads, there are many ways for you to get around it. But I'll give YouTube this. At least the ads that they serve are very clear that they are ads. They're not trying to deceive you that these ads are the videos that you're actually watching or that these ads are hidden buttons that you have to click. Funny story, before I have YouTube Premium, I still have my ad blocker on all other websites. But I turn it off just for YouTube because I still want to support content creators that I watch regularly. And yes, most ad blockers allow you to exclusively unblock the ads on certain websites. Definitely a handy feature if you want to support content creators but don't want the hassle of paying them directly. I hugely appreciate if you do though, just saying. Links down below. But it's not just about YouTube blocking their ads that become an issue. It's also about the ads themselves. You know how a lot of content creators these days get demonetized for the dumbest of reasons? Demonetization, or the yellow dollar sign, will limit how many ads that will be shown on your videos, which will inevitably hurt your revenue. If that's the case, then YouTube should check on the ads themselves, because not only these ads are worthy of being demonetized, they're also breaking terms of service. According to a report, 80% of YouTube's ads that they serve on the internet violated their terms of service. Imagine being a creator on this hellish website and then having to deal with the yellow dollar sign and then knowing that there will be less ads being shown to them and thus earning them less revenue and then knowing that those ads are violating YouTube's rules. It also boggles me in why advertisers don't want to advertise in demonetized YouTube videos. Yes, it could be because of PR reasons and companies not wanting to associate themselves with problematic family-unfriendly content, but we haven't had any YouTube ad outrage post-2020, especially during the pandemic where the digital life is very important. No one is complaining that an ad is playing alongside a non-advertiser friendly video. In fact, if that actually happens, that's considered a blessing for a lot of people. Basically, the yellow dollar sign is useless. Just give everybody the green dollar sign. You don't even have to announce that you do. Just sneakily give them the green dollar sign to everyone indiscriminately. You might as well do that, especially when your ads are actually violating the terms of service. Now, Google denies this report and said that it makes many claims that are inaccurate and doesn't reflect how they keep advertisers safe. Well, you're gonna have to take their words for that. And apparently, they do remove ads that violate the AdSense policies, but they haven't issued refunds for buyers of AdSense who were affected by the violations, and they also haven't compensated for the losses of a lot of YouTubers that got the yellow dollar sign. To summarize, I cannot deny the importance of ads, but I can also not deny the dangers of ads. Ads are living in this bizarre conundrum where they are terrible, they are deceptive, they can even cause real harm, and they're also not that effective at enticing customers. But at the same time, they are an essential part of life for a lot of content creators out there. If a website asks me to turn my ad blockers off, I wouldn't mind, as long as they can serve me ads in a manner that is not annoying or disruptive. The problem is, a lot of websites do serve ads in a manner that is annoying or disruptive. And that's why I always wear protection, and a lot of you guys should do too. uBlock Origin, download that. Brave browser or any browser that has a built-in ad blocker, download that, especially on mobile. And as a content creator on the internet running a business, I encourage you and many other content creators out there to find other means of income and other means of diversifying your source of revenue. Seriously, just looking at Linus's income source is a great start. There are many other ways in which you can help yourself. The sooner you work on that, the better. And that's all for the video today. This is the second installment of the appabend reboot series. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you do, you can join in among these awesome people. Just $1 to the links down below and you'll see your names among these amazing individuals. Seriously, thank you so much and I'll see you all next time.